I'm not sure what exactly has been on your mind when Nigeria, or as Nigeria marks its anniversary at 62. In terms of the economy, should we marry or worry?
We should be much more worried. We should be worried about the future of our country. We should be worried. We should be worried about the direction that our country is headed. When you look at countries that became independent about the same time as Nigeria, you cannot help concluding that we've done badly as a nation. No doubt about it, Nigeria has had wonderful moments, happy moments when you see us triumph on the football field, winning the World Under 16 World Cup in 1985 for the first time. Nduka Ugbade led his colleagues to bring that honor to Nigeria. And we've seen Nigeria win the Nations Cup too in 1980 during the Shagari era, when Christian Chukwu led Odegbami and others to triumph on home soil. Then we've seen a good number of our entertainers doing very well. Rema collaborating with a Mexican American artist and doing very, very well. That's the Zelina. We've seen Ruga, we've seen Fireboy, a good number of them doing very well. Wizkid, and even Burna Boy, the first African to sell out the Madison Square Garden. This gives you every reason to be happy as a Nigerian when you see these young people, very creative people, doing our country proud. You feel proud as a Nigerian. We've done well in some areas, but in terms of governance, you cannot say that we are where we should be, because just ask yourself, at 62, where was India? Are we where India was at 62? The answer is no. Singapore gained independence in 1965 after Nigeria. Are we where Singapore is? Whereas at independence, Nigeria, Brazil, Singapore, India, we were on the same level. And Nigeria was seen as the great African hope in terms of our GDP, in terms of the good news coming from our continent, from our country. But we've not been lucky to have a succession of good leaders who will lead all of us, shepherd all of us, Nigerians, onto the path of real growth and development. While we have been literally overgoverned, the misgovernance of the Nigerian people is very evident. In fact, I can say Nigerians are actually self-governing themselves. In your home, you provide your own electricity, you provide your own water supply, you build a house, you must put a borehole, you provide your own water supply. In your street, you join others in building your road. You know, sometimes you do not have transformer, you join others in paying for a transformer. That's self-governing. Your own security, you provide your own security. These are things that government should be doing for our people, but our people have ended up doing it for themselves. That's why I said, look, Nigerians are actually self-governing. So when you look at where we are currently, honestly, your blood will boil. There was a time when, in the 70s and even 80s, when certificates from India were being rejected in Nigeria here. People will not accept, employers of labor will not accept certificates from India. Today, India has come out of that era, a much stronger country. India has become the destination of choice for Nigerians who are into medical tourism. Hospitals have collapsed. Health services have collapsed in our country, and those who can afford it now go to places like Egypt, even Cameroon. Some Nigerians in places like Adamawa State would rather go to Cameroon for Medicare. So things are getting worse for our people. Insecurity, even the economy is not doing well. Nigeria is called the giant of Africa. By that, we should demonstrate that we are real giants of Africa. But when we are taking our cue from the fellow African countries, then you cannot say that that we are true giants of the continent. At 62, we've used 16 heads of state, 8 of them military rulers, and 2 of those military rulers came back as civilian presidents. I was talking about Obasanjo and Buhari. We've had just one prime minister who ruled from 1960 to 1963 and gave us that first Niger bridge. You know, Zik, our first president, ruled from October 1, 1963 to January 16, 1966. 3 times the military dethroned civilian presidents in our country. So when you look at what we are going through now, wars and conflicts, terrorism, kidnapping, leadership failure, infrastructure deficit, ceaseless borrowings, and clearly our debt profile is rising, and we are finding it difficult to match the debt servicing with the volume of revenue that we are generating. Of course, there is political and financial corruption rampant in our country at this time. So these are signs of a failing state. These are signs of a failing state. But Nigeria still has an opportunity to retrace its steps. And an opportunity beckons for us to choose a new set of leaders. Are we going to get it right? Are we going to choose leaders that will make matters worse for us? Because somebody said some time ago that every leader that replaces another Nigerian leader has managed to be worse than the leader that replaced.
That's a very bad thing.
You don't hear me?
I heard you.
Yes. So is that what we are going to get in 2023? If we get that in 2023, then Nigeria's path to becoming a failed state will appear to be already paved. It will appear that we are on an irreversible journey to becoming a failed state. We are a failing state now, but we have an opportunity to change things for the better. We can't continue to look at Malaysia that came to our country to take palm fruit seedlings. Today, Nigeria is importing processed palm oil. We don't even produce enough palm oil in our country. We are importing crude palm oil. We are even still importing crude palm oil, and we are importing processed palm oil. If you enter some of the department stores, you will see processed palm oil coming into our country.
Right,
the country so blessed as ours should not be going through what we are going through. Honestly, it has not pleased God to bless us with very good leaders. I will say that they may not like it. The sycophants who take money from them may not like it. But the truth is, it has pleased God to bless Nigeria with so much potential. with so much natural resources. Name it, lithium, gold, everything we have in abundance here. Gypsum. But it has not pleased God to bless us with the kind of leaders that will be able to harness the boundless potential that our country has and take us to that promised land.